Casey, the official boot maker of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team. And by Omni. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your hosts, Kristi Scales and Brad Sham.
And welcome, everybody. It's Victory Monday. It's Victory Monday, and we are at Concrete Cowboy at the Star District in Frisco. And we are delighted that the word is starting to get out now that we're out of the studio. So you are welcome and encouraged to come back here. The Victory Monday Club is back. It's great to see you folks. Great to see a lot of people who we have seen through the years at these Cowboy Hours. Tonight, we're going to have a real dilemma because our guest is Dorance Armstrong, off to another tremendous start. The Cowboys' defensive end, and the reason I say we're going to have a dilemma is I don't know whether we're going to spend more time talking about the Cowboys' defense or the University of Kansas Jayhawks, which as a Missouri alumnus pains me greatly, but that's neither here nor there. We will talk about that, but D.A., thanks for coming, man.
No problem.
Appreciate it. So we're delighted to have all of you with us wherever you're listening and whenever you're listening, for that matter, on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. And those of you who are watching us streaming, whenever you're watching, on DallasCowboys.com. That's what the little black box is for. So wave to everybody. Thank you for joining us on the interwebs. And I also want to say, before I forget, because we'll be switching co-hosts next week. So this is Kristi Scales' last Cowboy Hour of the year.
Oh, man, I better order the Tower Stack burger tonight then. You know, they pile it up with onions.
Is that an option?
Onion rings here at
Is that an
Concrete
option?
Cowboy. Absolutely.
Let's have several.
Yeah, all right.
How many of those do you need, D.A.?
Just one.
Just one, okay. Let's get that out here. But thank you for doing this. It's always great working with you. I get to do it every Sunday, and it's been great to have Kristi here, and it's really, really fun. It's Victory Monday, by the way, everybody. Victory Monday. Sometimes you got to wake them up a little bit. How is Dorance Armstrong? How is Victory Monday different for the players early in the season?
We love to have Victory Monday. Obviously, it's something that everybody looks forward to. Just not having to come in on Monday and actually have a work day. We just come in, live, watch the game, and get to go back home and rest. But I feel like every Victory Monday is the same. You know, it's no different from the beginning of the year to the end.
So the first, after the Tampa game, what did you do on Monday? What did you all do? Not just you. What did everybody do on Monday?
Ooh, you're taking me back now.
Just 3 weeks.
3 weeks a lot.
Okay, I hear you.
I wish I could recall, but
when you win, almost always, especially if it's a 7-day week, he's going to declare it Victory Monday, and so you don't have. Do you have meetings?
No, we don't have anything
except for a lift.
Not even.
So did you go lift today?
I did today. We didn't have Victory Monday today.
Oh, you didn't?
No, we didn't.
Why?
I wish I had the answer to that.
Wow. You need Kristi to speak to Mike about that?
Yes, we can take care of that. No problem.
We need an answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I have a question though because Mike McCarthy's staff, it's the second one that you've been under here with the Cowboys, and I wonder if coaching staffs in the NFL, are they harder on you sometimes after a win and easier on a loss in a way because they're trying to temper things? You know, you're on a 3-game win streak, and I'm going way back now, but Bill Parcells, you know, it always seemed like he rode the guys harder after wins than he did losses.
If anything, I would say he just wants us to stay on our toes and not get comfortable.
Right.
That would be the perfect way to explain that.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And then the old adage that we hear about the 24-hour rule, that whether it's a win or a loss, 24 hours, celebrate or have a pity party and then put it in the rearview mirror and look ahead to the next game. Do players really follow that 24-hour rule?
It's hard. it's really hard, especially if there's plays that you just easily left out there on the field. But you got to let it go. Move on to the next week and be ready to go out there and make plays next week.
So are you beating yourself up over a play that you missed yesterday? I mean, that was a great defensive effort, limiting the Commanders to 10 points. But yeah, is there something you look back, or last night you're trying to sleep and it's like, oh man?
Yeah, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it right now, and I'm still kind of feeling it. So, yeah.
Would you like to share what it was?
Just the sacks at the end of the game. That was it. Everybody thirsty for the sack. So. Just missing them, and they were right there. But now we'll get better. We'll find ways to get it.
So apparently there's a number of you who I'm guessing that it sounds like number 11 takes it personally if he doesn't get a couple.
Absolutely.
He now I think is of the opinion that he is supposed to get some, and so when he doesn't, now he's gone 2 weeks. So I think everybody's over him now a little bit, maybe.
No, they definitely still got their eyes on him.
Have you noticed as he draws more attention? He had 3 people on him sometimes yesterday. As he draws more attention, how does that impact other guys around him?
You just open up more opportunities for everybody else. And if you stay on top of your attention to details and know your assignment, then that's your play to make.
So, did you guys feel like there were a lot of sacks left on the field yesterday?
Absolutely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now here's one thing. Those intentional grounding penalties, so Wentz was penalized twice for that yesterday. I think statistically, the closest defender should get credit for a sack on that, don't you think? I mean, or what? I don't know. I would think that as a defensive end that you, or no?
I'm going to say
I thought you'd jump on that right away.
We just got to get him down.
Okay.
That just makes it clear and simple to what
You
the
don't
sack
want the
is.
ball out of his hands.
No,
you want everybody to see.
Yeah, he got to have it. He got to have it.
Down.
Yeah.
Do you like to, and if you don't, how about some of your buddies, like to talk to a guy after you've taken him down? Anybody ever have anything to say to somebody?
I can't recall. I don't know. I just think it depends on how intense the game is. If we're winning way up and we're still getting sacked, then nobody cares about him. But like, if it's a close game and we get into him, especially if he's talking to us, but that's not. I feel like we don't really get that. People don't really talk to us.
I mean, quarterbacks don't do too much. Do they?
Yeah, no, they don't really say much.
Even Aaron Rodgers doesn't? Tom Brady? I mean, he can be kind of.
I think it just depends on the person who he's talking to. I'm not a type of person that just want to talk, but I've seen Tom talk to Dono, so that was pretty intense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about yesterday? It was interesting because the starting center, and they'd only been there for a week and a half, but for the Washington Commanders was Nick Martin. That's Zach's younger brother. Mm-hmm. So were you guys aware of that you were going against Zach's little bro yesterday?
Absolutely.
And were there any words exchanged?
Absolutely. Zach's an amazing player, so you would assume his brother has some of that in him too. So whatever we can't give off to Zach, we were trying to make sure we gave it to his brother.
I texted Zach, I guess Thursday night, and I said, will there be any trash talking between you and your brother during the week? He said, no, he's got enough problems. He just got there.
Especially going against their front, against the Dallas front.
He doesn't need to hear from me. So Kristi asked you a minute ago about how Mike McCarthy is after a win versus a loss. Tell us about Dan Quinn. Every defensive player we've been able to talk to for the last 2 years gives him most of the credit for putting you guys in position to play the way you have. Let's start with that. Are you on that train?
Absolutely.
And what is it about him?
Man, he just knows how to lead a pack. He's a phenomenal leader, and guys buy into what he wants us to do, and that's the most important part. After you get everybody to do that, then everything just falls in line.
And so, what's he like after a win as opposed to after a loss?
Most importantly, he's gonna keep it honest with us. He's gonna tell you what it is, and he's gonna tell you what it ain't. But that's good. I mean, we need that. We need somebody to tell us what we did wrong and what we did right head on. And so when he says it, we fix it, and then we just keep getting better.
I'm guessing his pedigree is such that when he got here at the beginning of last year, in the off season before last year, probably talked to each player individually. Did he spend any time with you saying this is what I see when I look at you, this is what I think you're capable of, and kind of set new standards for you?
Yeah, he did. For me, it was just go out there and be a dominant player, effective pass rush, and the run. And I feel like that's, I don't know, for a D lineman, that's what a D lineman's job, everybody accept their role that he gave them. I don't know what everybody is, but everybody accept their role, and they're willing to do what they have to do to help this team win.
So was it affirmation of what you had already thought of yourself and your skill set and your role, or did he also maybe challenge you? The way that you guys have such great versatility, your front guys there, but was there some of that as well when you met with Coach Quinn?
Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable for me at the beginning because I never played in the inside or anything like that, and just some of the things that he had me doing, I had never really done like consistently. So I'll have to just get a feel for it. It was a lot of learning last year, but this year we did our learning last year. Now we're just trying to build on our foundation and just stack those days.
All right, we're going to build on that when we come back and talk to Dorance Armstrong, such an important part of the Cowboys defense. And we are at Concrete Cowboy at the Star in Frisco. And by the way, we are here each Monday night at Concrete Cowboy for the rest of the month of October until Halloween. Halloween, we're going to move right downstairs to Cane Rosso. But the rest of the month of October, so come, we're out on the patio. It's great.
Beautiful.
They got
Perfect.
screens everywhere. And what was the name of that burger?
Oh, the Tower Stack.
The Tower
Or
Stack.
do the Giddy Up Sampler. So
You
that's
know
a little bit of
bit-
everything.
you
A little
know
bit of everything.
way too much about
We need
this.
to order one. We'll get one during the commercial.
All right,
break.
you know way too much about this for my comfort level, but we'll be right back with Dorance Armstrong on the Cowboys Hour.
The Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
And you can get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Kristi Scales alongside Brad Sham. We are here at the Concrete Cowboy at the Star in Frisco, and our very special guest this week is Cowboys defensive end Dorance Armstrong, number 92, and we want to thank our fans for coming out. I see a couple of Dorance Armstrong practice jerseys that I know that they were going to have autographed tonight, and I see some of our young fans dressed as Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and I see lots of merch out there, so thank you all for coming out tonight. But Dorance, we were talking about some of the different roles along the defensive line. And one of the packages, and I assume that Dan Quinn came up with this name. If not, please tell us who. But can you tell the listeners what is the Nascar package?
It's usually for third down situations. So when you see a new group of guys come in for third down, that was usually the Nascar group.
Because it's fast and you're going to get off fast and go right after the quarterback.
Yeah,
and
we know it's a pass.
So you know it's a pass game, and so
And excuse me, it's called NASCAR because it's supposed to be guys going fast.
Fast, right?
Absolutely.
And so you, as a tall, lean defensive end, often move inside. So instead of the shorter, heavier defensive tackle, so you're moving inside there. How big a deal is that? What is it? A little bit of a different skill set when you're rushing from the inside as opposed to lined up outside?
I would like to say you can be a little bit more patient than on the outside. The guards are less athletic than the tackles, so it's pretty much a mismatch as we look at it, to put our ends on the guards and put our big guys on the end. But just a mismatch for our ends to their guards.
I'm fascinated by you thinking about the first conversation that you had with Dan Quinn last year, when he said, "Okay, I'm looking at you and I'm seeing a guy who, in pass rush situations, can really make a mark inside where you've never played." How did he sell you that? What did you say to him?
I pretty much just accepted it. I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't know what to expect. And I was just like, okay, let's just see how it goes.
Did he know that you'd never done that?
I don't think so.
And you didn't volunteer it?
No. I just tried my best to make it look like I knew what I was doing.
Okay. So, Dorance, we're going to move you inside. Yes, sir, you are. You bet you're moving me inside. Absolutely. And who did you had to talk to somebody who had done it, maybe D-Law, somebody who had done it, for some help on, okay, what do I do here?
I kind of just talked to everybody about just like what it feels like, and it wasn't just help from him, but it was guys like Osa, Tristan, the guys that's there that actually play it, and that I just was able to get their perspective from it and just see how they see it and just work how I work from it.
So now I'm hearing you describe rushing against a tackle versus rushing against a guard, and I'm wondering now if you're disappointed when you don't get to the NASCAR package on a pass rush and you have to be outside. It sounds like you'd almost rather be inside sometimes.
Yeah, man, I like to better myself on the inside.
Take us inside the room, the D-line room. Dan Quinn does a lot of hands-on things, we know, with the defensive line, but Coach Dirty, and then, of course, Leon Lett. I think a lot of Cowboy fans remember Leon Lett from the 3 Super Bowls from the 1990s and what a great defensive tackle he was. But he has been assistant defensive line coach for so many years with the Cowboys and for your entire career. Is he kind of the sounding board for you guys at times? Or what's that dynamic when you have the two different coaches for the same position group?
It always helps to have an extra set of eyes. Both of those guys do an amazing job of keeping our guys ahead of things and just pointing out things that we don't see. So they really complement each other.
Let's go back some, because you are now an accomplished player with some skins on the wall. You've got a pedigree, got a second contract. That's a big deal to a lot of guys, right? Getting the second contract.
Absolutely.
So you come here, 4th round pick? Is that right?
Yes.
From the University of Kansas, and a different system, different coordinator, different everything. What were your expectations for your NFL career when you were drafted and with what they told you when you got here?
Honestly, I had never not played as much as I didn't play my rookie year in my life. Honestly, high school, college, anything like that, I was always on the field. So when I got to the league and I wasn't playing, it was weird. It felt funny. I couldn't believe it. I had to really sit back and learn a lot and realize that to me, myself personally, that honestly at the time I really wasn't ready. So just sitting back watching D-Law and a lot of the guys that been here in front of me, it really helped me and shaped me to who I am today. There's been a lot of guys come through here, and this was all helpful.
The fact there's been a lot of guys come through here who aren't here anymore, but you are, what's that tell you?
I like to say that I'm special, and I feel like if maybe if I believed in myself earlier, then that could have been something that happened earlier. But I was so caught up in, you know what I'm saying, like the actual guys, who they were. Like, I didn't know who D-Law was when I got here, but I learned who he was, watched how he played, liked how he played. I liked to see how he played, and then Robert Quinn, guys like that. I was still kind of a fan of those guys. I've always watched Robert Quinn as a kid, so I knew who he was, knew what he was capable of, but I was just still in shock for a long time. But opportunity presented itself for me to be on the field, and I'm able to show what I've learned for those people.
Brad mentioned you getting a second contract from the Cowboys, and I think that a lot of fans maybe don't appreciate what that means for a player. And just so folks know, unless you're a first-round pick, that means that the team has a 5th-year option on you if you're a first-round pick. But other rookie contracts, it's 4 years. And then after that, there are so many players in the NFL that are not offered a second contract by the same team. Of course, your rookie class, it's Leighton Vander Esch, and so he re-signed. He's on a 1 year. He's 5th year. Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz. But what did it mean to you to get that 2-year deal and knowing that you're going to stay here?
Well, that meant everything. I promise you, I really don't ever want to have to leave Dallas, but I feel like I'm at home.
By the way, did you ever think you'd say that growing up in Houston?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, just for the record.
No, not at all. No, it meant everything. My family has always been Cowboys fans, so it was even a blessing just to come here as drafted here, and then re-signing was even more crazy. So. No, it was a dream come true.
Yeah, North Shore High School, right? That's the same as Andre Girard, by the way.
Right.
So, yeah, did you know that he had gone there and stuff? So when you're picked in the 4th round and your family's big Cowboy fans, I mean, what was that like?
That same night, it was a party, and it was all blue and silver. It was decked out blue and silver.
So did you have Cowboy jerseys growing up, and the sheets and the pillows
No,
the
I
little
didn't.
Hutch uniform that for the little kids and stuff like
I
that?
didn't have that. I didn't have a favorite team back then.
What?
No. I just watched it.
Huh, okay.
Did you watch players? Some guys who don't have favorite teams have favorite players. You mentioned you watched Quinn.
Yeah, I used to watch Quinn a lot when he was with Miami, and I mean the Rams. But other than that, he's like probably one of the oldest guys I can recall on.
So I'm a big baseball fan. You a baseball fan at all?
I love the sport, but I don't really keep up with it.
I'm a big baseball fan, but I hate the baseballization of football by overemphasizing statistics, because there's a lot of tricked up statistics to me, and statistics in football at most positions don't tell you everything. But it's interesting. Having said that, when I'm looking at your career statistics, it's really interesting. Now, you may tell me some of this is Dan Quinn, and you may tell me some of this is getting over that first year where you questioned whether you belong. But so your first 3 years, you only started 3 games, but it's really how many snaps you're playing, not how many games you start. But your first 3 years, you had 15 tackles, 16 tackles. Then it jumped up to 33, and then up to 37 last year. Okay, that's nice. Sacks, you went from half a sack to 2 sacks to no sacks to 5 sacks. And you've already got 3 this year, right? Tackles quarterback pressures. That's one I do kind of try to keep an eye on a little bit. Although it's somewhat subjective. 6, 9, 8, 22. So you're clearly, something is trending for you as these years go along. Tell us about all that.
Just the sense of urgency of wanting to actually be on the field, what it takes to actually want them to trust me to be on the field, knowing my assignment, having my teammates trust me, all that build up into this moment. Actually, how they look at me now as a player, the work in the off season I had to put in, everything just ties into being able to be put on the field. It's a lot that comes with it, but if you don't work for it, you won't get it, or you won't have it long. So for me, it was just the work ethic, the sense of urgency, especially that contract year. I knew I wanted to be back here with the boys, so the amount of work I had to put in that off season, it just all transferred over to the season.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about what transpired. And then I've got to give you a chance to talk about the University of Kansas. Your team is having it's like its best year in many, many years.
Many years.
And you follow them pretty close?
I have been lately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, another front runner, just like everybody else. Dorance Armstrong is our guest. We're at Concrete Cowboy at the Star in Frisco. Come on out, meet Dorance, and enjoy the ambiance out here on the patio. We'll be right back.
By Albertsons.
The Cowboys Hour is also supported by Lucchese, the official boot maker of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Kristi Scales, along with co-host Brad Sham, welcoming Cowboys defensive end Dorance Armstrong to the Cowboys Hour, presented by Miller Lite.
And by the way, before I forget, excuse me, but since all of you are back and we're happy to have you, yes, you'll get a chance to ask Dorance a question. Joe Trahan from the Cowboys Public Relations staff is going to be Vanna White and walk amongst you with the microphone. So when we get to that part of the show, if you got a question for Dorance, hold your hand up and Joe will come find you. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we just, we were talking about Dorance's Kansas Jayhawks, and I can't believe I'm asking this question, but Brad, what do the Kansas football Jayhawks have in common with Alabama, Michigan, and Ohio State? They are all 5-0.
Yeah, good.
Unbelievable.
Great.
That's
just fine.
Now when you went,
let's just call Dorance out. Dorance
yeah.
is his own team's front runner, right? Right. All right. How do you go from Houston to the University of Kansas?
That's the only place I had took a official visit to. I had played basketball out of high school, so a lot of that time I was playing basketball. I had basketball games, so. Yeah, that's the only place I took a visit to.
Are you a better football player? Were you a better football player than a basketball player?
Yeah, I've always been a better football player.
Because now if you told me you took a basketball visit to Kansas, now I'm impressed.
No.
No.
I didn't have that in me.
When did you know that football would be your ticket, so to speak?
When I didn't get any scholarships in basketball.
Okay.
If you'd have had a choice back then, which one
of
of you?
I wasn't going to choose basketball.
I
just played basketball just for the fun of it. A lot of the guys that I went to high school with, I grew up with as like friends since like 4. So I've always known them. We always played sports together, and we won state my junior year. Then I just tried to come back my senior year and do it again, but it was just for the fun of it overall.
What was the appeal about Kansas other than the fact that they offered you? I mean, because they weren't exactly on a winning tear when you came out of high school.
No, they wasn't. But I had never been to Kansas. I'd never been to Lawrence, Kansas, never even heard of it. But when I got there, it just felt like peace. You know, it was quiet. It was
nobody bothered you.
Yeah, nobody bothered you. People nice. It just was peaceful. I loved it. I got away and was able to focus on myself for a little minute, and it worked out how it should have.
And when you first moved to Dallas, what was the feeling?
I was kind of nervous. It was more responsibilities on my life that I really didn't know of and didn't know how to handle. So I was really adulting, and I had to figure out on my own.
Yeah. So nervous about being an adult and less so about the football part of it, or
yeah. Like for example, like buying a house or stuff like that. I didn't even know like refrigerators and couches cost as much as it did. Like, oh my God. But yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, having to like write checks for insurance and things like that. I mean, it's so adult. It's still depressing, even at my age. It's like I still don't feel like you're getting used to it. But how has it been in terms of people as you've advanced through your career? People recognizing you and interacting with fans, and just what it's like as a Dallas Cowboy. Because these road games and just the way that the team has supported, the franchise and the players personally.
Honestly, I get to walk around and I feel like people don't notice me. I enjoy it. I don't really care. I don't be doing.
I mean, they
nothing.
know
you're wearing sunglasses, so that helps.
They know D-Law, right?
Yeah,
They know Trayvon now.
Yeah.
Probably know Micah. Probably can't go to the mall.
Yeah, and if I do, I'll probably look like this.
Yeah. Dorance is wearing his sunglasses tonight, but that's because we're on the patio and we're getting ready for a beautiful sunset.
No, that's because he's just cool like that. He just walked like that. Okay. When did you start following your college football team again, front runner?
I'm not going to say I didn't follow them. I've always, kept up with the score and see if they won or lost.
No,
but
all you did was check and see how bad did we lose.
I'm not going to say that. I just wanted to see what the score
I just said
was.
I just said it. You don't have to, I wouldn't put you in that position.
Man, nah, that's true though. I just checked to see what the score was, but now I kind of like go back and watch the highlights to see how it really happened. You know, if they're getting beat like that, nobody's gonna go back and watch the highlights of that. So, just watching the highlights now, it's exciting.
Yeah, you follow Kansas basketball pretty closely?
No,
not at all. Even though you played back in high school.
I'm used to that. They do what they do. So
yeah.
So Kristi said it's Kansas and what, Alabama and
Ohio State, Michigan. Those are among the 5-0 teams, and I think Kansas either ranked 18th or 19th this week in the top 25. But moving up with a bullet.
Have they reached out to you? Come on back to campus.
No, they haven't.
And they're playing in Lawrence. They're playing TCU this week, but they're playing in Lawrence.
That'd be a good game.
Because College game day is going to be in Lawrence. I mean, if they were playing here and it was the right time of Saturday, would you go to the game?
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy because playing TCU when I was there, we always played them good, even though the score would say otherwise. But no, it would always be a good game to begin with. But I don't know. I don't know any of those kids there. Actually, I don't know who's the coach. It'll just be exciting to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It'll be more exciting to see a game in Lawrence because now that they're selling out the stadium.
Right.
I've never seen that, so it'll be nice to feel what that feels like.
So what was it like to play in front of the stadiums you play in front of in the NFL, coming from a big-time college program, but one that didn't sell out the stadium?
It was mind-blowing, honestly. NFL stadiums always are just packed out huge. It's more bigger, so it's like more to see. And the fans are, I'm not going to speak on the fans. They're pretty much the same, but, yeah, just a lot more to be aware of in the NFL situation.
What's your favorite place to play other than AT&T Stadium?
I like LA. I like the LA vibe. I like the stadium. The turf is nice there. It feels good to me.
Yeah, and the inside of SoFi, of course, it's built by the same folks and operated by Legends Hospitality. So, to me, once you're inside, it feels a lot like AT&T Stadium. That beautiful board that they have, that infinity board, is really dynamic and beautiful. But so I thought you might say like Philly, or it was a good crowd in New York last Monday, really, because the Giants have been down for several years, and so finally the Giants fans were showing some hope. So it was a little louder.
I was expecting more.
Really?
They had the white out, and I was expecting it to actually be sold out, but it is what it is.
So L.A., you're playing there this week. How far ahead do you know the schedule?
Probably till next week.
Okay, I mean that's with a lot of guys. They do that. They've got to concentrate on what's coming up. So the head coach said today that he will watch them tonight. He thinks it's helpful to have the team you're getting ready to play be on Monday night. Did you know they were playing tonight? Okay, so he said, no. I mean, I'm a lot of players don't follow it that close. They don't like watching football. It's amazing to me. Do you like watching football?
Here and there.
Okay. So he said McCarthy said he likes when the team you're fixing to play is on Monday night. He said he'll watch it and there's things he can learn. Dan Quinn said, I'll have it on. I'll sneak a peek when it's third down, but I'll be working and doing other things. Will you watch it at all? Does it make any difference to you in terms of next week's game?
I'll watch it and just see stuff here and there that I might pick up, as far as like third down situations, stuff that give us delta tells when we know it's passed. Just little helpful stuff like that I can just give back to the guys.
Coach McCarthy said something in his press conference this afternoon in regards to the defense and giving up less than 19 points or fewer for the first 4 games, and just how incredible the defense has been through the first month of the season. But he called, I want to make sure that I get this exactly right, I wrote down the quote. He says, you want your defense to be the thermostat of the team, because the thermostat regulates the game. I don't know if he's used that verbiage with the players before, but what do you think of that as the Cowboys defense being the thermostat of the team?
I feel like that kind of speaks for itself. It just goes to say that we set the tempo of the game from the time it starts to the time it ends, and that's what we preach and that's how we live by.
One of the things that was interesting about the off season was the Cowboys tried to get Randy Gregory back. Everybody knows that. You were teammates, and when he left, they said, actually, we don't know if we could have had them both. We really wanted Dorance Armstrong. And there was, it's not one for one because they brought Dante Fowler in, but did you feel like there was a little more on you, time to pick it up a little bit more since Randy was not coming back?
Yeah, it's kind of what I wanted in a lot of my past years, to actually just have opportunity to play, and that's just what it was.
We were talking about numbers before, so I read some of yours. You guys switch a lot. You're playing inside, and that's how they do it in the NFL now. But do you have in your mind, do you keep track and say, okay, I've got 3 sacks. I had 5 last year. I'm a double-digit sack guy. Do you do that? You play that game in your own head?
Mm-hmm.
And where do you want to get?
Obviously, double digits itself, but I don't have a number past 10. I feel like anything past 10 is a good year, and if you can do that consistently, it'll be even better for you.
We have to talk about his propensity to block kicks. We have to talk about that. What an outstanding special teams player he is, period. And you have questions for Dorance Armstrong. Joe Trahan's got the microphone. When we come back, it'll be all of you and DA. This is the Cowboys Hour at Concrete Cowboy at the Star District in Frisco.
Supported by Albertsons.
The Cowboys Hour is also supported by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. I'm Kristi Scales along with co-host Brad Sham, and our guest on the Cowboys Hour presented by Miller Lite is Cowboys defensive end Dorance Armstrong, number 92, and we've been talking about the great play of the defense through the first 45 minutes of the show, but as promised, we want to hit on special teams because you have been so key in that. And before we talk about some of the things this year, I want to take you back to last year with your first career punt block, and that was against Atlanta last November. Is that one of your all-time career highlights?
Yeah, that was my first one ever. So yeah, that's
Really?
Yeah.
Did you play teams at Kansas?
No.
No.
And I'm
At
sure
all.
you didn't play teams in high school.
No. Nope. I wasn't aware of just how the feeling of that. Like I don't think I've seen it in person in high school or college.
Blocking a
honestly.
kick, you talking about?
Yeah.
How did it compare? Because not long after that, you had your first career touchdown. I think that was also that was against Washington, right? So how did that compare? That was picking up a fumble, right?
Yeah. No, the block point was more exciting than the touchdown.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
Okay, so
I will say, just from being the sideline reporter, it's fun to watch the dynamic on the sidelines, and I do find that there's more exuberance overall when it's something on special teams. Am I right on that?
You're 100% correct.
And maybe it's because it's a mix. You have a mix of offensive and defensive players that are coming together. Maybe it's because Coach Bones Fossil is the most excitable guy maybe in the NFL. But I don't know. It just seems like as tight knit as the defense is, it just seems like there's something special with special teams.
Yeah, with all those guys there, it's like you said, we all come from both sides of the ball, and with special teams being right in the middle of offense and defense, it's one play. It's usually pretty exciting because we train for punt returns, punt blocks, big plays from special teams. So we're always excited to go try to get a big play.
I do have to ask you about one play yesterday in the game against Washington, the 25-10 win over the Commanders, and that is I was holding my breath on that one where you came up the middle and made contact with Washington punter Tress Way, knocked him down. The official did throw the flag at first, picked it up. Were you confident that he was going to pick it up, or were you thinking, oh,
no,
man?
I wasn't confident, but I also I also knew that I didn't hit him. He kind of like bounced on his leg again to go into me. So in my mind, I felt like I was good with it. If they would have called it against me, I would have felt like it wasn't a good call.
It was an Emmy award-winning performance by Tress Way, the punter, but still, and I could see when the official threw the flag, he kind of dropped it kind of late, and you can.
Yeah,
they're usually more
hesitated.
definitive.
He
yeah.
hesitated, yeah, definitely.
And it would have been a 5-yard penalty, not a 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down. But I will admit that I was holding my breath for just a moment.
Me
But
too.
the thing is, a sack is a great play. People love them. Block kicks feel game-changing, especially punts. So which is better, blocking a punt or getting a sack?
A sack, because you can get a strip sack, and that's better than.
Oh, then you can
I
get the
see.
ball.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you can get a chance to score your own touchdown off of it too. So.
But what did you feel when you blocked that punt last year, and what did you feel on the blocked field goal?
The block punt was more exciting because, for one, just laying out in front of that ball, I didn't know where it was going to hit me at. And I didn't know how it was going to feel. But it hit me like right here in my ribs, and I didn't feel it at all. But I felt the field goal more. I don't know why. I guess because it was on my
Off your hand?
fingers.
Yeah,
It only hit my fingertips. But, yeah, the block punt was definitely better.
Did you have a bruise on your ribs the next day?
I
Nothing.
didn't.
So it got the pads.
Yeah,
Hey,
it
I
was-
do one more thing about the touchdown. Did you save the football, and where is it right now?
That football is at my house. When I scored that touchdown, I gave it directly to Buck. So It was coming back home with me anyway.
Yeah, that's Bucky Buchanan, the Cowboys' longtime equipment manager. There is a trunk. There's an equipment trunk. There are several equipment trunks behind the bench, and so it's a good game when Bucky and Dylan and Mike are having to find space for all of the balls, all of
Absolutely.
Trayvon's interceptions and Michael Gallup's
All
touchdowns
the
and the like.
commemorative balls. Okay, questions from the audience. Go. What's your name, please?
Good evening, Dorance. This is Rambo. Congratulations on a great win yesterday. And, of course, today is Victory Monday.
Victory Monday.
And Rambo's
It's
wearing his
Monday.
victory
Thank you.
T-shirt, Cowboy victory T-shirt. Thank
Absolutely.
you, Rambo.
So my question is, how has the locker room atmosphere changed compared to the game after Tampa as compared to the game yesterday against Washington?
A lot of guys on this team are bought into what we're trying to do, and that's obviously win a ring. So after the game at Tampa, we knew that we didn't meet our expectations. That was to come out there and get the win. So we had to come back the next week and get the little things right to be able to get the win the second week.
Hey, Dorance. My name is Corey. I can speak for most Cowboys fans that we're really excited about the defense this year. It's been a long time since we had a great defense. But my question to you is, what's one of the biggest lessons that you think you've learned under Dan Quinn?
I feel like, just the belief that comes with buying in and the confidence that comes with buying into what we're actually trying to do and how you need everybody to make that thing happen. I never really felt the energy like that until this year. This year we got a lot of guys that know what we're trying to do. They got individual goals, but at the end of the day, we got a big team goal that we're trying to reach, and they put that ahead first.
Oh, look out. This could be trouble for you right now.
Who is the biggest trash talker on the team?
Oh, the best question of the
Love
night.
that.
The best. What's your name?
Me.
And how old are you?
9.
Best question of the night. Thank you very much.
You really want to know that answer?
Absolutely. You're not going to lie to her.
Micah Parsons.
Got to be.
Really?
Got to
Micah
be.
Parsons.
More in practice or a game?
It's crazy because something that he doesn't like happening to him has to happen to him in order for him to start really talking.
Like what would that be? Like a blocking, a chip block or something he doesn't like?
Yeah,
or?
that or just a little extra push after the play. He don't like that. But yeah, he'll definitely let you have a mouthful of it.
Well, if he doesn't like it and then that kind of gets him off, does anybody ever think that maybe one of you guys should push him from the back when he can't see who it is and then point to somebody in the other uniform? Hey, look, Mike, you see what he did to you?
Sometimes that's what we feel like we need to do to him, but nah, it's all love.
Who's the best trash talker from another team?
Ooh, another team. It's usually one of the receivers. It's always the offensive guy.
They're like yapping as they're going back to the huddle, and you can overhear them.
Yeah, it's usually always a receiver.
Linemen don't talk much, right?
No, they don't.
All old linemen,
They don't
they
say
got nothing to say.
They literally don't say nothing.
Their plate is full already. They don't need to motivate the defensive linemen anymore. So, that's
All right,
funny.
so where do you? We're just got about a minute and a half left. You've got a 3-game winning streak. First game wasn't good. Now you're on a 3-game winning streak. Still getting players back healthy. Where do you guys think you are?
We're not even close to where we can be. Guys know that. Guys can feel that. And it's still early in the year. And with that being said, it's a lot of ball left to play. We only want to get better. We're only going to get better. So, and we're only going to get guys back from being injured too. So, hey, man, it's going to be scary.
You had a great run last year. Mm-hmm. And then it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. What did all of that teach you? Just the attention to details, because really we
we look at every game as the same. Basically, every game is a championship game. That's how we look at it now. And when we go back and look at when we watched that 49ers game, it was so many small details that we messed up on that caused that we could have really done differently and won that game. But now when we game plan and we make sure that we got our details down, and that'll help us win the game.
All right, we'll write it down. October 3rd, Dorance Armstrong said it's going to be scary. We're looking forward to scary. D.A., thank you, man.
No problem.
Great having you here. Thank you, will you, Dorance Armstrong? And thanks to all of you. It's great to see everybody. We'll be back here again next Monday night at Concrete Cowboy. And Kristi Scales, thank you. It's been extra special fun.
Awesome, Brad. Thank
Haley
you.
Sutton from DallasCowboys.com will be with us next week. And the Cowboys and the Rams at 3:30 Central Time on Sunday. I'm Brad Sham. Thanks for joining us this evening at Concrete Cowboy on the Cowboys Hour.
And the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.